Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Raja Nur Ain Izzati binti Raja Bukhari. My matrix number is 052890 and I am from Diploma in Banking Semester 5. My research is about environmental pollution in Taman Sri Muda. First, the introduction. This research or study is purposed to explore some of variables that influence the environmental pollution in Taman Sri Muda, Shah Alam, Selangor. Taman Sri Muda is a major township in Section 25 Shah Alam, and it also have many manufacturing industry activities and large population, especially immigrants. The goal is to analyze the types and causes that influence the environmental pollution and what is the step that can be taken to prevent or reduce the environmental pollution in Taman Sri Muda, Shah Alam, Selangor. Globally, 23% of all deaths and 26% of deaths among the children under age 5 are due to the unpreventable environmental factors. It is include the exposure to the hazardous substance in the air, water, soil and food. Environmental pollution had made the greatest impact on the people whose health status is already at risk. In 2008, approximately 127 million of people live in US counties that exceed national air quality standard. In Malaysia, based on a survey that had been conducted on March 2019, the air pollution shows it at the second place with 33% for the most concerning environmental issues in Malaysia, and the water pollution at the third place with 27%. It shows here that the environmental pollution is not something that can be underestimated. It can happen due to the rapid development of the country. Taman Sri Muda Shah Alam has grown a lot of development from year to year, and is also not spared from the environmental issues as the growth of the development in Taman Sri Muda. This research is being conducted to know more types of pollution that have happened and the exact causes of the environmental pollution, and to find a way to prevent and reduce the problem from getting worse. So, for the problem statements of this research is what types of the environmental pollution had happened in Taman Sri Muda? What are the causes of these environmental issues? How can we prevent or avoid this problem from getting worse? The research objective is to know what is exactly the causes of this environmental pollution, and to know what the steps and ways that can be used to prevent or reduce the environmental pollution in Taman Sri Muda. The scope of this study is it will involve the people who live in Taman Sri Muda with the concern for how long have they stayed there, and the residents will be given a survey to be answered. Next, the theoretical framework and the hypothesis. The independent variable is the causes of the pollution, and the dependent variable is the environmental pollution. For hypothesis 1, the more causes of the pollution, the more environmental pollution will happen. For hypothesis 2, the more environmental pollution happen, the more effect on the living creatures. For hypothesis 3, the more effect on the living creatures, the more steps or ways to prevent or reduce the environmental pollution that we must take. And lastly, Hypothesis 4, where the more causes of environmental pollution happen, the more ways to prevent or reduce the environmental pollution that we must take. For the research methodology, the sampling method that has been used is a non-probability sampling technique, which convenient sampling is selected to be used in this study. It refers to the collection of information from the members of the population who are convenient available to provide it. So for this study, I want to know what types of pollution happen, the causes, and the way or steps to prevent the environmental pollution in Taman Sri Muda. This type of sampling is easy to cover the large number of surveys quickly and it costs effectively. In this research, the residents of Taman Sri Muda had been chosen to be sampled for the study of the environmental pollution issues. In this research, I have used survey method, which involves the collection of information from the representative target respondent using a pre-designed questionnaire. The types of survey that I have been used is internet survey. Due to this pandemic COVID-19, I had difficulties to do an observation, in-depth interviews, or other methods that need me to meet other people. So with the growth of the internet and the expanded use of electronic device, the electronic survey becoming one of the most widely used survey methods. I have used a Google Forms as the platform to conduct the survey and collect the data from the respondent. This method is comparatively very less expensive than to pay for a postage in a mail survey or using other methods of survey. This kind of survey is easier to make changes when there is an error, or it also has a fast transmission time, is easy to use of pre-letters where the active and the interested participants may respond to the invitation in very short time of period. It also have a higher response rate and more candid response. For the significance of this research, the data collected shows from all 60 respondents, 100% of all of them stated that there is environmental pollution happen in Taman Sri Muda. There is 4 types of pollution happen in Taman Sri Muda, which is the first one is water pollution, number 2 air pollution, number 3 noise pollution, and the last is land pollution. Then, the increase in the numbers of vehicles and the open burning activities can be seen as the causes of the air pollution, where the most of the vehicles use fossil fuels and it releases smoke that contains carbon monoxide and that can affect human health and the air quality. The increased number of the vehicle also can contribute to noise pollution. Next, because of Taman Sri Muda is very close to the factory, the disposal of waste and toxins from the industry have been the causes of the water pollution. Due to these irresponsible activities, the water has polluted and it reduced the sources of the clean water. Besides that, the increases in the trading activities also increase the disposal of non-biodegradable plastic, which can take hundreds of years to be composed. It shows the community is still not aware the importance to use biodegradable plastic and the importance of recycling. From the data collected, 90% of the respondents state that the environmental pollution is affecting their health. Next, the respondent also state that when there is a complaint has been made, some of the complaints had been taken care of by the authorities and some still did not have any action taken. Even the complaint have been made and the action is taken, the environmental pollution problem still keeps happening, and it is clear that the short-term solution does not last long, and the authorities should think a better solution to solve this problem. For the conclusion is, the environment is a sole factor for the existence of life, and without it, there can be no life on Earth. If the water and air are polluted, then we are prone to fatal health disorder. As we can see, the oxygen is the key for the body because it helps in generation of energy, and all living things need air to breathe for the survival. Water also comprises nearly 80% of the total body mass. However, water can be the great risk if it is contaminated with filthy, toxic, or disease-causing microbes like bacteria. The existence of plants and the greenery is essential in the environment, and it also can prevent a natural disaster. So, I hope that my research can open the mind of the authorities and other people that environmental pollution is not a joke, and it is something that we have to take it seriously. That's it from me. Thank you.